All right. Welcome, everyone. I am Julie Landi, your host for this month's Vision Talk. And I am the founder of Live Your Vision. And I'm super excited to be here with you today. You know that we have these monthly conversations for really the adventurous, faith filled soul who is looking for more, who knows there's more out there and just hasn't figured out how to get there or what it is yet. So, we hope to bring to you valuable information, conversations, and inspiration from a variety of places. I know over the last couple of months, we've had conversations coming to you from LA, from Idaho, from New York, from all over, God, from Alabama. Really, God has brought amazing women to hear and to share. So I am very excited about today's conversation that I get to have. She is someone who is one of the nearest and dearest people to me in my whole life. And I am so honored and so privileged to be able to share with you my very own daughter, Natasha Landi. Can you say hi, Natasha?
Hi, everyone.
It's a dream come true for me to be able to do this with you, sweetheart. I am so excited. And I already hear the comments are popping up. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Please tell us where you're coming from. We love to hear where you're from. It says hello. We're so excited to see you all, and we are too. And Natasha actually lives in Nashville. I'm not going to give you too much about her. I'm going to let her share in just a second. But I'm here coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. So we are in different places, but that's the beauty of technology. And I'm not sure where all you are from, but we love to hear from you. So I hope that today's conversation will really illuminate some thoughts and really help you to think maybe a little bit differently about yourself. That is the goal. And all the way from Alaska, they're coming in today. So how cool is that? So anyway, the conversation today is around the question that is really about, is having your own vision selfish? Now, the reason I'm asking that question is because I have felt the resistance from so many women over the years, myself included, about really taking the time to invest, the money to invest, and the heart to invest in themselves. We, as wives and mothers, have no problem investing in our children, pouring out tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, on their education and their sporting events and everything else. We have no problem pouring it out to help our husbands advance and, really to serve the poor and the benevolent projects that we do. But quite frankly, we have a really hard time investing in ourselves. And so I'm going to share with you, so great. I see Nashville, Upland, California, LA, Alaska, Huntington Beach. A big hello to Natasha that's in the comments they're saying. And so we're really, really excited to explore this conversation. So before we get into that, really, is having a vision selfish, having your own vision selfish, I wanted to give Natasha just a little bit of a chance to explain a little bit about who she is. So Tosh, tell us who you are, a little bit about you.
Sure. So I think it's no surprise to everyone right now that I am the boss's daughter, guest starring today. I am super excited to be here today. I'm sure, I don't know if many of you know this, but I'm actually starting to take my mom's class soon and super excited where that's going to take me. But I graduated from Ole Miss a couple of years ago. And then after that took me up to Nashville, like my mom said, just working in a staffing company, more in the program management side. And now I'm just really excited to take this journey with her and figure out what my path is. But I'm actually coming to you live from Orange Beach, Alabama this weekend. But yeah.
I think it's incredible. Yes, we are a very mobile community. That is for sure. She's down there with a friend going to a concert prayerfully, weather providing. And yes, you can say a little prayer for her. But we're super excited. She's got so much going on in her life. She has her career now, which I'm super proud of her for. She's got lots of great friends a community that she's a part of. And she's got an incredible boyfriend that we really adore. So, she's learning how to balance and live life with intention and a vision herself. So I can't tell you what it means to me that she's actually taking our program too. So I wish I'd had the program when I was her age. So a lot of times we have thoughts about how much as women we have the right to invest in ourselves. Now, but what I thought today would be a good conversation is for some of you women out there, to really actually see the results of not investing in yourself and just doing the right thing, serving everyone else, and versus investing in yourself and actually filling your own cup and seeing what that difference provides. So I wanted to actually ask Natasha, this is where we've had this conversation, because she said some quite stinging things to me a few years ago, and I thought it might be of value to you other women that are hesitant. But as a young teenager, well, let me back up. There were some things that happened in our lives as a family that were transitional, right? They were tragic and transitional. And honestly, we lost both my parents rather suddenly. We had a challenge with my family as far as the family dynamics with the will, the trust, the whole legacy of the family that way. My personal career came to an end after almost 2 decades. And Natasha was in the throes of that in her middle teenage years. So at that time, granted, I had some legitimate reasons to grieve and to be kind of downcast. But honestly, it was more than that. It was more than about just the loss of my parents and the loss of, some of my career. It was really that I had no vision for my future. And so where I was at, and where we're going to kind of set the stage today, was a place where I, in my mind anyway, I thought I was doing all the right things. I really thought I was, trying to be the best mom I could be under the circumstances. And I really was, it was an effort, quite frankly. It was hard at that time, but, I was committed, and she, we have a close family. So I thought I was doing the right thing. But I wanted Natasha to share with you a little bit about what is it really like? Forget about the reasons. Let's just talk about, because some of you have your own reasons for putting your own vision off. Now, let's have I would like Natasha to speak very frankly into what it's like to live with a mom who has no vision for her own life. So Natasha, can you share what that time was like?
Yeah, sure. So as my mom put so eloquently, to put it into a snapshot, it really rocked our family's world when we lost her parents. It was a really kind of tragic situation, and rightfully so, comes after the grief. And the grief really challenged my mother. I mean, it absolutely took her out of this world, quite frankly, and it actually made me say to her, like, I need you to come back to the land of the living, Mom. Like, you are not there. It truly felt like she was a ghost living in our house that was there, that was physically there, but not present. And that's really just such a scary situation to have, because it's kind of just a sad existence. And it was kind of like walking on eggshells around her, just because it was anything that could remotely upset her. We didn't want to put too much on her plate. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. And it was absolutely horrible seeing the glue and the foundation of our family, which was my mother, kind of fall into that rut there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think about those times, honey, and I think about what an incredible, I can remember exactly where I was sitting when you said to me, Mom, we need you to come back to the land of the living. And it was such a grown-up statement from a little girl in my mind that I was actually shocked by it. And I was stung, really. And, like she said, it came after a series of unfortunate events, which, we all have. That's life. Every one of us is going to suffer loss. Every one of us is going to suffer transition. And that's just the way it is. But the bigger issue for me, as I said, which I was really stuck and stalled in for far too long, which is what Natasha is referring to, is that no vision. I really didn't know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. And as a result, I didn't realize the implications. I thought I was just using whatever energy I had to take care of my family, to take care of my husband, to do the right thing, the house and all of that. But in truth, what it did was just make me almost, I didn't realize this until the conversation we had prior to this, unreachable, unapproachable. And when she needed me most, I couldn't be there because I was just so unhappy, so drained.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, if you're one of those women that are just going through the motions of life and you're really drained and you're thinking you're doing the right thing for your family, I really hope you'll listen carefully to this conversation and rethink that strategy. I really do, because honestly, our children are watching and we are shaping their future, and our hopeless, desperate states that they pick up on, quite frankly, no matter how old they are. They're very perceptive, but they pick up on, really do influence and hurt them. So Natasha, I know that you shared earlier, and when we were doing our kind of, conversation about this, but how did it impact the way you and I related? Can you share a little bit about that when I had no vision?
Yes. Yes. So, um, so this happened when I was about 11 years old, I'd say. And after that, it was like a good 4 years or 5 years after that it took for you to kind of come back to us. But with that happening and the grief just consuming you, it just absolutely built a wall between us, between Dad, Misha, myself, and you. And it's made, like I said before, it made us not want to anything more on your plate emotionally. So it just kind of caused that divide between us. And I mean, those are, like you said, those are very formative years. And so it took a little bit for it to come back. But with you being stuck in that state of confusion, grief, loss, just not knowing who you were anymore, almost, it was tragic to see that at such a young age, you know?
Yeah. And I know at a time when I would think that you would need me most, even though as a teenager, you might not act like that, it really was, I realized how unavailable I was and how
Yeah.
little bandwidth I had as a result.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things you mentioned off camera before when we were talking is just that when we did have disagreements, how much stronger and how much more difficult they were because of the, how reactionary I became as a result of being drained. Yeah.
Totally.
I remember the conversation you and I were having about honestly, I just remember being so insecure and I'm accusing you of not being honest. And, you were just like, Mom, the more insecure you become, the more drained you become, the more, you think negatively like this, and the more drained you are, the more you see the negative in me. And Joel, your dad actually had that conversation with me, he said, sweetheart, you are projecting on your daughter in a very bad way right now. So it is just a powerful testimony. And I hope the listeners are hearing that if you're in a position of being drained and you are not your best self and you have children watching you, then you have an obligation and a responsibility to do something about that. So let's just turn the page now, Tosh, and share what has changed and what has happened, because thankfully God has redeemed us and renewed us and restored our relationship. But I just wanted to, ask you now, could you share a little bit about the difference now or within the last, say, 5 years or so that's come around as a result of me having a vision and a direction for my life and a purpose? Tell them more what it's to live with me now, I guess.
Right. So the phrase that comes to mind is, I think that when your cup is full, it runs over into others. And, if there's nothing in there, then it won't run over into others. And so you having your life back, having your zest for life back, having your whole world come back, it's just been amazing, because you as a person, you're so joyful, you're so helpful, you're so thoughtful, you are so interested in people and connecting with people. If any of you know my mother, you know that. And you always want to fix the problem. You always want to jump right in, dive right in with me if I call you for the littlest things. And I'm so grateful that you are where you are right now, because I feel like, you're like my best friend now. Like, I can call you no matter what the situation is. And it's amazing to see a woman so driven, so passionate. And I love that we're truly genuinely friends now, which is great, because that wasn't the case long ago. And I will say, it's probably hard to be friends with your teenager. So.
Sometimes, yes, but sometimes we make it harder than it needs to be as women. And that's what we're getting at here. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. And I treasure our relationship so much. To think now that it's true. When she calls, I'm like, Tosh called, I got to go. She is such a priority and she's got, the conversations we're having now are so deep and rich and mature on the ways to handle life. And I'm so thankful that I'm available and that she considers me a great resource and that I have the bandwidth now. And the irony of it all, for those of you listening, is that, when I was totally focused on serving my family and, just thinking I'm doing the right thing, she saw me as not available and I didn't have the bandwidth. Now that I have this great vision for my own life and I'm living this sort of rather busier life, quite frankly, investing more money in myself, investing more time in myself, I have more availability. I have more bandwidth, and she and I have a better relationship. So I just hope that you all can see the difference that your decisions make, because your children are watching and they're being formed in your, God uses you in such a great way to form them. And so it's out of the overflow, as she said. I thank you so much what you said, Tosh. That was awesome. Out of the overflow that we get to be there for our kids. If we don't have an overflow, we really can't be there. So I know I want to just ask you now. We're going to turn the camera on to you a little bit here. Let's talk about how my even living my own vision now is shaping you with your vision, and then we'll go into your vision for your own life. Okay. So first, just the question of how is me kind of going for it now shaping your life?
I mean, it's totally inspirational. And I think that you are a role model to anyone of any age, any woman to any age also, which is cool. So seeing you get into it now, obviously it has inspired me to want to take the class. I want to take your class. I want to know more about myself. I want to know what my path is. And it seems like you found yours, and I'm inspired to do the same.
That's cool. I'm so happy. It's so exciting. Just tickles me so much. I mean, we laugh about this, but it's just like, pinch me. I can't even believe this is happening, you guys. I mean, this has been a dream of mine to have this kind of connection with my daughter, and that I would actually literally be some kind of role model for her. Whereas instead of, some Instagram person or some celebrity as a role model, that she gets to have her own mother as a role model. And not just because she's her mom, but legitimately someone who she would be aspired to become or like in that way. So thank you, honey. It just tickles my heart so much. So I know this is a very big question, because I don't know if we mentioned, but Natasha is 24. So she graduated a couple of years ago from Ole Miss, did an incredible job. She actually had a job even before she graduated at this fabulous company that she works at now. And, she's been working and gotten a promotion and done very well at her job. But she definitely came to me with, Mom, I definitely want to make a bigger difference with my life. I do not want to be just the cog in someone else's corporate wheel. I don't know how to make greater impact. And so what can I do? And that was a conversation we had just, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. It was very, 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 very recently. Right. So, but to have that kind of, to me, to have that kind of presence of mind and heart at 24, when the world is her oyster, I want more, is just really enlightening to me. So Tosh, tell us a little bit about what kind of vision you have for your own life with what you've got now. I know, as she said, she's taking the class in the hopes to help get clarity on that for more. But at this point, let us share with me a little bit, and share with us a little bit about what kind of vision you have for your own life now.
So as you said, I am taking the class because I don't know what my vision is yet for my life. But what I do know is that in my current situation, I have a great job. I'm happy where I am, but like you said, I want more. And I think that I am not at my full potential. That's weighed heavily on my heart over the past year, I would say. And if I can get after it now, sooner than later, I think that I want to live in more purposeful fulfillment. So I don't really have a vision. I'm sorry, that's not the best answer, but I'm trying to figure it out with you. So
yeah, no, that's exactly right. And honestly, the reason I wanted her to say that is because so many people come to me and say, I'll come back to you once I figure out what my vision is. I'm like, that's not the point.
You're like, this is what I do.
Exactly. We help women who don't know come find their vision and then live it out. So that was the reason I wanted her to share that. But the thing I wanted her to share is that she, at 24, has that pressing on her heart that she's not at her full potential, that she could be used for more, that she could be giving so much more to the community. And so whether it's staying in her own job and figuring out some kind of benevolent project or something that she wants to do that God could really use her powerfully for, we don't know. Whether she's going to write a book, sing a song, and trust me, she's an amazing singer, or go on and do something entirely different. But I'm so proud of her, because she has such a heart for other people too. And that, I want to cultivate that. I want to be a part of that. So as the youngest ever, because she really is the youngest ever to have enrolled in Live Your Vision, and what made you want to join and learn with all these other more senior, and you know, she literally said that to me. She came to the class. She's like, Mom, I'm like the youngest person there. This is a little intimidating. But what made you want to come and be amongst these more senior, very powerful women that are a collection, you know, in this group that Lynn is leading now?
Yeah, it's super exciting. To be honest, I think I've always been a bit of an old soul. Like my mom can attest to this. I've always kind of hung out with her friends, even being like a toddler. Like I've always loved being with her friends her age. And I'm really excited to be part of this class because I really feel that I'm going to be elevated in a community with these women. And so I'm super excited to learn from them. I think in turn, we all are going to learn from each other, but super excited.
I think I really wanted you all to hear that too, because even at our young age of our daughters, they crave community. And the kind of communities that they need are those that will help them up level and ones that are mature, that are cross generational. And
Right.
it's super powerful to be able to learn. And sometimes we think, oh no, those are my daughter's friends. And I kind of isolate and she's doing her own thing. And these are my friends and I do my thing. But it's been really powerful to watch, you know, across the years, even Natasha connect with my friends and be influenced by my friends. You know, her mentor is one of my best friends and older than I am actually. And so I've seen the power of cross-generational relationships that are just really serve the individual and the community really well, and certainly the family well. So I'm so proud of you. Two things Natasha said that I really hope y'all will take away. One is that she had the heart and knows that there's more for her. And she acted on it. She figured out a way to do it, even at her young age. Two, she recognized she needed a community to do it and was willing to put herself, even in an uncomfortable situation, around women she does not know who are a whole bunch older than her, except for one, because we have Renee's daughter joining us. Thank God Megan's joining us, right? You have a friend, a younger friend. We're starting
Yes.
a here with women. She's 27. So we're so thrilled to have her. But the fact remains is that she's realized there are a couple of components. I need a guide, I need support, and I need a community to up level and find the purpose for my life. So, honey, I'm so proud of you because these are insights that have come up from within. You know, you can't make your daughter do these things, but you pray and hope that she will recognize the value of these things. And I'm so proud of you. So, any last words for us, Natasha, before I share some closing thoughts?
I would just say, if anything, if you're out there and you're a mother who is struggling with this same situation that my mom's painted, go for it. I mean, you need to be living your life to the fullest, and it's gonna, like I said, run over into everyone else that you care about's lives. So I say go for it.
That's awesome. Thank you, honey. Wish I'd had you say that to me years ago. I wish we knew that years ago, right? But
Right.
awesome. Awesome. I love you, sweetheart. I'm so thankful. And honestly, if you all want to meet Natasha in person, she's going to be with us in Atlanta on September 25th. And I wanted to send out a personal invite to all of you because one of the things she talked about, which I think is really powerful, is that being around a group of directed women, right? We call them directed flames as opposed to scattered lights. So there is nothing like being around a group of women, like she said, that is so directed, that is so purpose, that is so clear on where they're going. So if you want to understand how to fill your own cup, we're gonna do that. Just like she said, go for it. We're gonna talk about how to use what you've been given to make significant impact, because there's nothing, and we're gonna do it all at Bogle Farm, just outside of Atlanta, and September 25th, Saturday, that is, from 9 to 4. 70 acres of pristine open air farmland for a very limited number of women. We're probably capping it around 100. So we're going to have, you know, an acre per 7 women. So we've got lots of space. It's open air. It's so gorgeous, absolutely pristine. And I want to personally invite you to come join us and bring your daughter. By all means, bring your daughter. If it is going to be a powerful event. And because you'll be in the presence of women who know who they are, they know what they want, they know where they're going, and they're tapped into the power of the divine. And there's something to be said for all of that. That's when the vision comes to life. So go ahead and get your ticket at, you can, the links are all over. And we'll also be rolling out a virtual or an online experience as well this week if you absolutely cannot make it to Georgia. But We pray that you will, because the experience will be like no other, and you'll get to meet my daughter in person. So anyway, y'all, we hope you had a great time with us today. I adore my daughter. I wish I could give her a big hug and a kiss right now. And can't wait to see you soon, honey.
I know, it's going to be great. It's great to see you there.
Yep. I love you, honey. Have a great
Love
weekend.
you.
All right, everyone. Take care, and we will see you soon. Hope to see you on September 25th.
Bye.
Bye.